Do you think that we have a better or worse border situation now than we did under Joe Biden? Do you know who Gilberto Avila Jara is? He was arrested last month and charged with over 20 sex crimes against minors.
Yes, sir.
These were the kind of people that Joe Biden and under your leadership were coming into our country.
The next 3 months doesn't make us more safe. Taking HSI agents away from drug interdiction,
taking murderers and rapists off our streets makes the American people more safe. It's your testimony that taking murderers...
Do you feel safer today with Biden's open border policies, or were we better off when Trump actually had the border under control? Today, I want to break down one of the most important exchanges we've seen in Congress. Congressman Gill from Texas, grilling former IC Chief of Staff, Mr. Hauer. And let me tell you right now, this hearing lays it all out on the table. This is the Prodigy Unfiltered.
Gentleman yields back. Okay, and I recognize the gentleman from the great state of Texas, Mr. Gill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for holding this hearing today on what I believe to be one of the most, probably the most important issue that our country faces right now, which is illegal immigration. Mr. Hauser, I've got a few questions for you. You were Chief of Staff for ICE, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What years were you there?
2021 to 2023.
So that was during the Biden administration, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Got it. So presumably you're well-versed in border security and immigration enforcement, is that right?
Yes, sir. I would say that I'm very aware. I also worked at CBP under the Obama administration. Yes, sir.
Got it. So you've got a lot of experience there. I'm going to ask you a few questions. In an interview with the Daily Blast on February 28th, 2024, you mentioned, quote, "You can't deter and punish your way to lowering encounters at the border," end quote. Do you think you were right or wrong about that?
100%, sir. What we've seen...
100% what? Right or wrong?
100% I was correct.
You were correct about that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The idea that you just dismantle an immigration system is not... There was a mandate to the Trump administration...
Illegal alien border encounters are down 95% right now. I think you were wrong about that. You also said, quote, "The idea that you can turn off the border is just not factual." Do you think that was right or wrong?
Sir, the threats that we're still seeing across the border...
Do you think you were right or wrong about that statement?
What's that, sir?
My question is, were you right or wrong about that statement?
When you turn off the immigration system, sir, yes, you will not see encounters. Yes.
Well, southwestern border encounters are at a 15-year low under President Trump. Another thing that you mentioned, quote, "Just shutting off the border to asylum seekers is not going to do that," meaning close the border. What I think is going to do that is make it more erratic and sporadic for the sort of large surges of migrants you would see coming across the border. Do you think that was right or wrong?
100% correct. It was correct, sir. We're going to see that over the next couple of years. Yes,
border apprehensions are down now because President Trump has secured our border. He's stopped the flow of illegal aliens coming across our border and coming to our border. Do you think that we have a better or worse border situation now than we did under Joe Biden?
Sir, I believe the border is secure.
You believe the border is secure, that's right. But you were wrong about a lot of other things, about what would secure the border, is that right?
No, sir, it's only been 100 days.
You were wrong about what it would take to stop the flow of illegal aliens coming into the United States. You were wrong that secure enforcement that we're seeing under President Trump would stop the flow of illegal aliens. You ought to keep that in mind as you're going to the media and mouthing off about the president.
Can I answer that question?
Let me ask you another question. This is from a New York Times op-ed that you wrote just a month ago.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned, quote, "Federal law enforcement under President Trump is engaged in dangerous political theater." What about President Trump's law enforcement do you think is dangerous political theater? Do you think that seizing 235,000 pounds of fentanyl at the border is dangerous political theater?
Is a problem.
Do you think seizing fentanyl at our border is dangerous political theater? Do you know who Gilberto Avila Jara is?
So that's exactly where ICE should have their resources focused. That's exactly where
and
this
we
administration
did, and he was
beginning to
arrested
turn them
last
away from.
month and charged with over 20 sex crimes against minors.
Yes, sir.
These were the kind of people that Joe
Taking
Biden
2,000
and
CBP
under your
officers
leadership
off the border
were coming into
over
our
the next
country.
3 months doesn't make us more safe. Taking HSI agents away from drug interdiction,
taking murderers and
trafficking,
rapists
human
off our
smuggling
streets makes the American
doesn't make us
people more safe. It's your testimony that taking murderers and rapists off our streets does not make us more safe?
What I'm saying,
is that what you're
sir,
telling
is
me?
what we have heard from this administration is over the next few months, there's going to be thousands of law enforcement focused on non-criminal migrants.
We'll see. You were wrong about a lot of things. I don't put a whole lot of stock into that, candidly, and I don't think the American people do either. Do you support amnesty?
No, sir.
Do you support amnesty for illegal aliens?
No, sir.
In this New York Times article, you wrote, quote, "That means that the best solution for public safety is not mass deportations.
No, I
It's giving
support
undocumented
focused immigration
I'm
support
speaking
for
right
migrants
now.
that need
This is my
protection
time,
under our
not
law.
yours. I'm speaking. It's giving undocumented immigrants who have been in the United States for a long time the opportunity to come forward, pay a fine, and gain legal status." That
Yes, sir.
sounds a lot like amnesty to me, doesn't it, to
It's
you?
a process, sir, under the law that could exercise and allow them for
That's
migrants to come out of the
amnesty.
shadows and then focus.
That's what amnesty is. This is a deliberate semantic obfuscation, and you know it, and I know it, and the American people know it as
it's not,
well. Do you think that illegal aliens should be given welfare once they get amnesty?
Sir, that's not my department.
You've got a lot of opinions on a whole lot of different things. You don't have an opinion
Areas
on
where
that?
I've worked for 20 years, sir. Yes, sir.
And finally, let me ask you, do you think that Biden was successful at stopping illegal immigration?
There was failures at the beginning of the Biden administration to deal with the flow of migrants post-COVID, and then there was failures of implementation of policies across all of the immigration system. That's the same problems we're seeing now. The idea that you can enforce your way out of immigration and the challenges that we see across the Western Hemisphere, it's not going to work.
We had an open border under Biden. The border's secure now. I think that's a successful Trump policy and a failure of the Biden administration. I yield my time back. Thank you.
Gill starts off by reminding everyone that illegal immigration is the #1 issue facing our country. And he's right. We're not talking about some minor policy debate here. We're talking about the survival of our sovereignty, the safety of our communities, and the future of America. He calls up Mr. Hauer, who, by the way, served under Biden from 2021 to 2023, and immediately you can see where this is going. Gill knows Hauer's record. He knows the statements he's made in the media, and Gill isn't about to let him wiggle out of it. Hauer had previously said, and I'm quoting here, "You can't deter and punish your way to lowering encounters at the border." And when asked if he stood by that, he doubled down, said he was 100% correct. Now, folks, this is where the left completely misses the point. Deterrence works. Punishment works. Look at the Trump years. Border crossings dropped to a 15-year low. That's not a theory. That's not a talking point. That's cold, hard fact. Why? Because Trump actually enforced the law. He didn't dangle amnesty. He didn't roll out the red carpet. He sent a message. If you cross illegally, you will be stopped. Gill hits him with the truth. Illegal alien border encounters were down 95% under Trump. 95%. But what happened when Biden came in? Border chaos. An invasion-level surge of illegal immigrants pouring across, fentanyl flooding in, and cartels stronger than ever. Hauer tries to wiggle around it, saying, well, shutting down the border doesn't solve root causes. Folks, let me be clear. We are not the social workers of the world. Our job is not to fix Guatemala or Honduras. Our job is to protect our citizens. And Trump understood that. Biden didn't. End of story. Then Gill calls out Hauer for writing an op-ed in the New York Times where he called Trump's border enforcement dangerous political theater. Seriously? Political theater? Tell that to the families who lost loved ones to fentanyl poisoning. Tell that to the women and children trafficked by cartels. Tell that to the communities dealing with rapists, murderers, and gang members who slipped across the border. That's not theater. That's national security. That's life and death. Trump prioritized arresting predators, drug smugglers, and violent offenders. Meanwhile, under Biden, ICE agents were redirected to chase down paperwork violations and babysit border chaos. Gill also nailed Hauer on the amnesty issue. Now, Hauer denied supporting amnesty, but Gill had receipts. In that same NYT op-ed, Hauer argued that long-term illegal immigrants should be able to come forward, pay a fine, and gain legal status. Folks, that's amnesty. Dress it up however you want. Call it legal status. Call it coming out of the shadows. It's the same old DC swamp playbook. Reward illegal behavior. Punish the law-abiding taxpayer. And Gill was right to call it out as semantic obfuscation. Because the American people aren't stupid. We know exactly what that means. Amnesty today, welfare tomorrow, and a permanent left-wing voting bloc imported into this country. The most telling part of this whole exchange came at the end. Gill asked point blank, was Biden successful at stopping illegal immigration? Hauer admitted there were failures at the start of Biden's term. Failures of policy. Failures of implementation. Folks, that's a fancy way of saying Biden's border was wide open. And then Gill closes with the truth. Under Trump, the border was secure. Under Biden, it was chaos. That's the bottom line. Here's my analysis. The left keeps pretending that border security is complicated, that it requires endless studies, think tank reports, and international aid packages. But Trump proved it simple. Enforce the law, put America first, and stand strong against the globalist agenda. What we saw in this hearing was a Democrat bureaucrat, Mr. Hauer, trying to justify years of failure, spin his words, and distract from the facts. And what we saw from Congressman Gill was a patriot cutting through the noise and reminding the American people of what real leadership looks like. At the end of the day, this isn't about politics. This is about our safety, our families, and our sovereignty as a nation. Trump had the border under control. Biden lost it. And if we want to save this country, we better learn from that fast. That's my take. If you agree that Trump was right on the border and Biden has been a disaster, smash that like button, share this video with a friend, and drop a comment below. Do you think amnesty is just a Trojan horse for open borders? This is Prodigy Unfiltered. Like, share, subscribe, and stay in the fight. God bless America.